My videos recommended. I'm waiting for a special. It's on YouTube. It's me. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Tough. Alright. What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. Welcome, guys, to the stream. It's been a while. It's been a long time, bro. Came from Speed Stream to this. W. Massive W. And that's the first time in history someone's probably ever done that. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? It's been like 3 months since we streamed. We have some reasons, there's other reasons, blah blah blah, but I'm here. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys in here, the familiar faces. Some of you guys in the comment section. Welcome to the stream. It's weird hearing your voice while seeing your face. Well, hey, I'm here. Oh, you want me to... Does this look better? So, I saw Andrade's release and I wasn't happy. Yeah, you're not getting named. How you guys been? What's up, chat? Chat. I haven't said that in a while. Chat. Mod support. Alright, let's do a little roll call quick. Bongani, King, Chase V1. You're not Matt Hardy's biggest fan anymore. Apparently you're Raven. James Weezer, Kadari Finley, Surfboard Charlie, ASAP Reefy, Salamatu Diaby, Wayne, User, Astro, Deshaun, Alec. Yeah, we got everyone in here. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing good. You know, we're good. Decent. What's it called? It's been a while. Yeah, bro. You know, I wasn't focused on the stream stuff. Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys this. I would love to stream every day, yapping, whatever, but I'm not very interested at the same time. It's a bit of a contradictory thing. I'm interested in streaming a lot, but I'm not interested in it. I'm interested in it because it doesn't mean I have to edit for hours a day and making all that. But on the other side, if I stream, there's certain topics I don't feel like talking about, we're going to have to talk about. What happened with Andrade, man? Bro, I don't know. We got to ask Andrade himself, bro. He just upped and left again. Like, I don't know how he gets out of his 5-year contracts, but he does. The guy he's capable. I don't know if he signs these contracts under some different premises compared to the other wrestlers. I don't know. But he always leaves. It's been a while. Yeah, bro. It's been like 3 months. I actually wanted to stream a while ago, though. Busy. I was actually... This video that I uploaded right now, it was actually done like 3 days ago, bro. Like, it was actually done 3 days ago. And it's one of those videos that I upload, and I'm like, I want to focus on the next one, to be honest. Like, I could have extended it and talked about Sin Cara, but I don't care about Sin Cara. I don't want to talk about his return again for the millionth time, bro. I'm good, you know? But the next video is, the next video, when wrestlers bet on themselves, I think. I don't know, maybe. Brock Lesnar ripped his pants. Yeah, I saw that live. I thought to myself, it's a SpongeBob episode. When Big Larry came. Yeah. Yeah, I saw. That was weird. Then the Dragon Lee and Sami Zayn match was good. I didn't watch the rest of SmackDown because I went outside. It's like, who cares? But I heard Cody Rhodes and Drew are facing off for the title. I don't really care about that, to be honest. It'll be a good match, though, but like, I'm not invested in it from a storyline perspective. Like, my investment in that match is from... Look, see, I'm an idiot. My investment in that whole thing is from an action perspective as opposed to the story, because Drew's not winning. I'm there to watch the journey of him losing the match. You know, I don't. Drew ain't a Drew of 2024. What color crayon are you? I'm blue. What's up, Wrestling Community? It's been a while. What up, Coach Sean? Dumpy, welcome back to the stream. Dumperman. The Pants RIP. Taking a break from wrestling once the NBA starts, not gonna lie. I mean, I can't ever take a break from it, but like my interest in the current stuff, I don't really care much. It's just like, what was it yesterday? Like, I didn't really care, you know? I'd rather watch YouTube videos, which is crazy. Like, I'd rather watch YouTube videos than SmackDown. I put it on, I see Julia, she faced off with B-Fab, nothing's going down, the crowd doesn't really give a damn. Dun, 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 commercial, another commercial, glaze, promotional stuff, glazing some celebrity that gave WWE 2 seconds of attention, and that's the show. It is what it is. Did you see Worlds Collide? Dom is now a double champ. So I wasn't interested in watching Worlds Collide. I was gonna watch the main event, but then I forgot. I noticed Dom won that time. I'm like, okay. I wanted to see. I knew he was gonna win, but I really wanted to see him. And well, actually, not really, because if I really wanted to, I would have stuck around. But yeah, I saw it. What did I do? Like recently, if I do watch wrestling, I put on some random stuff, like old stuff, because what's it called? I don't just want to watch the same stuff all the time, bro. You know, I've watched a lot of random wrestling stuff. You know, I mix it up when I watch. I haven't watched wrestling in a minute, unfortunately. It ain't hitting, bro. We're not gonna lie. You watch any other sports? Yes, soccer, football. I actually watched my team Dortmund earlier. They won their match. Do more old TNA videos, of course. I wanna do aces and eights. I wanna do something related to AJ Styles again. But we'll see. Like, there's a lot of videos we could do. Thoughts on WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia in 2027? Honestly, it was bound to happen. I saw a lot of outrage, but I saw like all these boxing events are in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia and stuff. And I thought to myself, it's TKO. They like money. They'll run over someone for money. When you add those two together, it's going to happen. I need an Ilya return like Coke in the 80s. Just wait up, bro. He'll be back. Happy Saturday. What up, Sammy? Welcome to the stream once again. 2025 WWE has been horrible this year. It's like dry. Are you watching the Canelo versus Bud Crawford fight wrestling for me? Yeah, bro. I'm waiting for Canelo and Crawford. It's going to happen at night. And that's a part of the reason why I didn't stream right later. Like, I would love to stream at night, but today we're occupied. And if I didn't stream today, I was going to think to myself, I got a video. Because I've been actually working on my next video today the whole time. Have you thought about watching any 90s Japanese wrestling matches? I've been watching them recently. Wallahi, I swear to God. I write a list of matches I've been watching the last 2 weeks. If you're like, why have you been watching matches the last 2 weeks? Because, what's it called? Outside of this, like, wrestling career, I don't watch wrestling. If you're wondering why, I don't want to get burnt out on it, but I changed it. I've watched a lot of Kenta Kobashi matches. Who else? Kenta. WCW 90s. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of this stuff recently. Yeah, I wrote down all the matches I watched here. Seeing TKO corporatize WWE a lot more often these days, especially after the latest statement saying Vince handled prices better, really draining to see, look how they massacred our wrestling. Don't worry, I'll be going to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia and TKO. I don't like TKO at all, bro. Like that Mark Shapiro guy's like, Vince used to price shows for families. As if that's a bad thing. These greedy fucks, bro. They made Vince McMahon seem like a beacon of morality. Like, that's what they made him seem like a great man, you know? When I heard that, I'm like, bro, you know how hard it is to make Vince look like a good guy overall? They kind of did that. Not entirely, obviously. Someone's going to take it the wrong way. But you get the point. They made him look good, you know? Andrade left, apparently. Apparently he left. But TKO, they're only in it for the cash. And I hate the fact that when they do bring in celebrities and all that, they bring in the same people. Like, just wait a couple of months, you're going to see Nelk. The Nelk boys in the crowd. They might even do a promo. You're going to hear Kyle from now. What's up, WWE? He's going to come and talking. But yeah, TKO is kind of a plague to the wrestling industry as a whole. And it's funny how WWE itself was considered like the cancer for wrestling, but nah, the old WWE compares nothing to TKO. You know, TKO makes Vince look like a Saiyans crazy, and like I see a lot of people cursing out Triple H, but there's some things that are obviously out of his hands. And again, I don't know. Maybe he has more influence than we think. Bro, the Hardys versus the Dudleys are going to be like DX versus Brothers of Destruction. Oh hell no. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, they look at the dollar, but they don't understand why they get the dollar. Because WWE right now is in this hot period, and after it ends, it's gonna require effort from their actual product to bring back the peak that they had in the last 2 years. And I don't think they understand that. They want to bring like these rich people to these wrestling shows, but at the end of the day, wrestling's trashy. It's not for the higher class. As soon as Premier stream again, I'm Matt Hardy. Okay, you're back to being Matt Hardy. You know, TKO. We want money. Blah blah blah. Crazy, bro. Still doesn't feel real. The Hulk Hogan passed away. It's crazy, man. Yeah. The Hulk Hogan thing was weird. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I didn't talk about it on the channel, but when Hulk Hogan died, it was stunning. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like when I thought about it, what did I write about it? I wrote something about him. I didn't send it out. Let me see. I wrote something about Hulk Hogan regarding his death. I didn't send it out because I just didn't feel like talking about him. But I wrote in the Discord if I remember correctly. Where is it? That's why I mentioned what I said. Hogan's been the controversial name. He's literally said he's racist. On the other hand, the worst part about his death is that his legacy isn't going to be celebrated to the fullest. It's his own doing, of course. He's changed the game and helped put the WWF on the map. He's had plenty of great interactions with people judging by the feed on Twitter. There's now some good things, but obviously they're not going to be said in this moment. And the moment I'm referring to is the moment when he died. It's a mixed thing for me, honestly, and a part of that is because Hogan was a hero to me as a young kid in the mid-2000s. I would have hoped he showed more remorse in what he said, and I have more to say about it, but I can't put it in one paragraph. Low-key. So that's what I wrote the day he died. Yeah. It's a weird one. Like, when you think of Hulk Hogan, you're like, oh, he's going to live until he's 90. But he died. And again, tomorrow isn't promised. Who you got to win the fight, Canelo or Crawford? Bro, we're rooting for Canelo, bro. Matt Hardy's 10 is bad. Yeah. TKO is basically saying fuck you to the fans. The thing is, bro, it's going to keep on going like this until they realize it's going to backfire. What was the last wrestling event you went to premiere? Probably SummerSlam 2 years ago. Wrestling Brand, do you think TKO is going to put WWE out of business charging $30 for their pay-per-view? They're going to hurt themselves a lot. Because, let's be honest, WWE is not worth $30 in any regard, especially for a 3-hour show. WWE? I don't even spend that much on AEW shows. You know what I mean? It's just like, bro, $30 a month? Let it backfire. I'm not paying that. There's this thing called a VPN. We're good off paying $30 to witness a Brock Lesnar match go a mid Brock Lesnar match. It ain't even 04 Brock Lesnar. They're trying to do this thing to compete with AEW. It's like, bro, come on. Like they're trying. If you guys noticed recently how WWE's doing these TV deals and they're diversifying their own content across these networks because they don't want AEW to get any space. It's a competitive thing, and they're losing sight of what's important, which is the product itself. Did you watch Worlds Collide yesterday? That stuff with Dominic and Ray was hilarious. Didn't watch it, but I saw some stuff. Now I'm rooting for Crawford, okay? You're going to be using a VPN for WrestlePalooza? Bro, I always use a VPN. How do you think I make the stuff? I use a VPN. I never... Listen. Ever since they launched on Peacock, I never done a pay-per-view review using Peacock images. Never. Bro, I'm sad WWE's on ESPN. The thing is, bro, with ESPN, I have ESPN, the regular. And since I like football, soccer, they have the Spanish league, the German league, and they have some English games, right? It's worth it to me. With WWE, it's once a month, and it's $30. It's like, bro, come on. What? Thoughts on Ronda Rousey's recent comments? What did she say? I'll be right back. Let me play something quick. Give me like 30 seconds. Damn, I don't got the HUK on here. Wait up. I'll be back. Just give me a moment. Yeah, I can't play anything. Give me like 30 seconds. All right, where were we? Hey man, always been a fan of videos. Shout out to you, XWF Gaming. I thought it said XWT. I thought. Premier, how high are you on the timer that The Rock returns at WrestlePalooza? 0. Rock is not coming at the moment. If he's coming for WrestleMania 43, which will be in Saudi Arabia. Bro, how did London not get it? She was just talking about how the WWE ruined her second run and that she didn't want to be there because none of her friends were there. Bro, I saw her talk about how she should have feuded with Alexa Bliss. And, bro, I gotta read this. Let me read this to you guys quick. You guys are gonna laugh if you guys saw this. Andrade has left WWE. Yeah, that's strange. Where is this? Alright, Ronda Rousey found it ridiculous that WWE had her wrestling Alexa Bliss due to Bliss being the top merchandise seller at the time. And she's like this. The fact that they had me fighting Alexa Bliss and all was fucking ridiculous, and you want to know why they had me against Alexa Bliss? And look, she's trying to hype it up as if there's a crazy reason. But you know why? You know why they had her? Because she had the most merch sales at the time. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's your decision-making process? One of the dumbest people I've ever saw, bro. One of the dumbest people, bro, I saw in wrestling. She doesn't understand merchandise sale. She doesn't understand characters. She has no semblance of wrestling, bro. She doesn't understand it. And, bro, she's dumb. She's dumb as rocks, bro. She makes Patrick look like a valedictorian, bro. She left like a... thoughts on current women's division. That's one of the best things WWE is doing right now, honestly. I'm so pissed at WWE and TKO right now. Don't worry, they're going to charge you extra for the next pay-per-views. Bro, I'm scared for WrestleMania 43. Saudi Arabia wants Rock, Austin, Shawn, and Taker. Like, we're going to have a bunch of 50-year-olds on the card. Listen. The only one of those old people that I accept is The Rock. Other than those, no, we're good. If you're like, why The Rock? The Rock has a vested interest in the stories. He has a vested interest in the Cody story and the Roman story. Now, the issue is, I don't know how far Rock's going to be in a year and a half. He hasn't been looking good too recently in the ring. But out of all those guys, he's the one that makes sense. But for them to bring back Stone Cold, and we're going to have this like thing in 2027, right? 2027. Hopefully I'm rich by then. Hopefully a lot of you guys are successful. It's stupid. And Saudi Arabia wants it to be like this biggest, greatest event. Why don't you start pressing WWE to push their talent right now in order to make that WrestleMania the biggest? No, we got to bring back Undertaker. Like, bro, Undertaker debuted in professional wrestling in like 1986. He debuted in 1986, and it's been 40 years right now. Why are we bringing him back? HBK, he's been retired for 15 years, barring the one return due to Saudi Arabia, of course. And Stone Cold has been retired for 22 years. Why are we bringing them back? Funny, bro. It's so funny. Thoughts on AJ Lee's return? It was great. I was smiling. We're getting Bob Backlund at WrestleMania 43 for sure. Who knows? Maybe. They'll probably be asking for Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels will literally be 62 by WrestleMania 43. Yeah. And the moment they take a body slam, their body's going to evaporate. See where we're going with this? It doesn't work. Sting can't wrestle. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, the Rock and Roll Express. These guys are old. Like, some of them could work, but they can't work under the brightest lights right now. They can't. It's actually crazy to see that women's division on SmackDown is trash while Raw's firing on all. Yeah, Raw's doing good. The SmackDown one, they have this, like, Tiffany title reign. But it doesn't feel like it's as big as they make it out to be. HBK's been retired for 15 years. Damn, I remember when it first... Yeah, bro. I remember it, bro. I remember that WrestleMania 26. That was like in my school. That was like the last WrestleMania they used to hype up. You know, it was a hype. Exactly, it's the kind of proof that WWE has no stars. I can't think of a new guy under 35 that everyone universally loves. Some women are in there, but no men. That's the issue. Now, one thing, and it's not trying to glaze AEW for a moment, but one thing they got is two guys that WWE probably should have tried harder signing. Swerve and Will Ospreay, honestly. If you're like, why those two? Those two are in their youth, and they probably haven't even entered their prime, you know? And WWE only has Dom and a couple of others. They don't got much. They need talent to lead them into a new era. Like Cody Rhodes, even though John Cena technically passed the torch to him, he's 40. Roman Reigns is 39. I think he's 40 right now. Seth Rollins is 40. They don't got a lot of young. They don't got a lot of young talent. One more match, Ric Flair. One more match, Ric Flair. Bro, that's going to be his last day, bro. Isn't Brock Breaker pretty hyped? He isn't 30 yet. He's one of those guys, but like, are they going to push him at 5 years? Is he going to be, like, listen, I don't think Braun Breaker is going to be the face of WWE, but I think he could be like number 3, number 2, number 4. He's one of the good ones, you know, one of the good young ones. But they don't have a lot. They don't got a lot. Drew McIntyre's old. Cody's old. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, bro. They don't got a lot there. Even Penta, the guy that they made seem like a newcomer, he's 40. Pentagon Jr. Also, boxing's doing the same thing with Floyd Mayweather fighting Mike Tyson. Well, that stuff's a psyop. It's a scam. Yeah, I'm watching the Canelo fight. I don't see Braun really being a star, to be honest. He's athletic, sure, but what else does he have? I don't see him as that number one guy. The number one guy probably isn't even in WWE right now, which is crazy. What's up, bro? Been a while. What up, Dave CC? Carmelo Hayes needs that push, too. We'll see if they actually start pushing him. I haven't seen him with Miz recently, and only time will tell. No, Seth Rollins is 39. I mean, close to 40. And like, a lot of those guys, the older guys, they have like 5 years left. Although the Roman, it seems like it's more like 2 years. They gotta push hard, you know? And WWE's like milking this thing right now with the old guys. It's like the new guys aren't presented as strong as the old guys. Right? Once Randy Orton retires, I'm done forever. We're getting closer to that day, bro. We're getting Cardi B at WrestleMania 43. I'm good off that. Wait, if she's there though, nah. Wrestling premiere. If WWE thinks Cody Rhodes is the guy that's going to get WWE fans to pay $30 a month for the pay-per-view, they have another thing coming. Bro, I'm not doing that with John Cena and Roman Reigns. You can keep on dreaming, bro. You put it on Netflix internationally. That's all we're looking forward to right now. ESPN. It's fake. Why is it on ESPN, bro? It's fake. $30, bro. This ain't 2003, bro. Bro, back then, you paid $30. Bro, why the hell's my voice cracking? I'm not 14. Bro, back then, you paid $30 to see Scott Steiner hit the same belly-to-belly. And at the end of the show, they're like, we had a wonderful one. See you next time. Yeah, WrestleMania 43 being in Saudi is on the run. We got era money. Is that like the only era-related song people know? Well, AEW is $40 per review. I don't even pay $40 for AEW. I actually pay much less than that. The thing with AEW, they put so much on their shows, bro. Like, they throw everything in there. 4 hours, it's like 10 matches. It's crazy. Ray and Randy, the last two of my gen. Yeah, John Cena's one of the last two. John Cena's retirement's been a bit of a weird one, you know? I really thought it was going to be better than it was with the heel turn. Playboy Cardi turned 30 today. Bro, there's no stars in anything, bro. Everything, they bring old people back. They bring the nostalgia stuff. It's just like, okay. Like I said, WWE's got to look at their stars. They got to evaluate stuff and realize, like, time's running out. Like, Cody Rhodes, he's going to be around for the next 3 years. Roman kind of. We're not sure. And these guys are the major stars of this era, but they got to look forward. It's very important. It's always with the youth. Every time. Curious, have you played any classic WWE games, bro? I've been playing all of them, bro. Not recently, though. I haven't been playing much. I've been trying to play 2K NBA, but I'm busy, bro. I can't be playing. You know, when I think about it, it's like games or the channel. I'm always choosing the channel. It is what it is. Even before right now, I've been. What time is it? It's 5 o'clock. I've been working on this video right now since 12 for the next one. It's much longer than the last video. I'd say only sports like NBA, NFL, and soccer got new stars, but even still, the older guys still got a lot more star power. Yeah, bro. Like, what's it called? In soccer, even though they got like new talent right now, it's still Messi and Ronaldo, bro. They still talk about those two. Like, those two aren't even in the European leagues. I could see Cody being the face of the company for another 4 years or so, but he did say he doesn't want to wrestle past his 40s. There isn't much time left. Bruh, Cody Rhodes is from the industry. I think he'll be wrestling until he's 70. I just don't think WWE should be investing too strongly in him in a couple of years. Not right now. You know, right now, it's not doing so bad, but in a couple of years, if he gets older and it's like, we got to build new stars, they got to push forward, bring in new talent. Brock has some matches left in him. Whenever Brock comes back, it's a big deal to Reigns get higher. I mean, Brock's always been a draw, bro. Even with the whole stuff on the stuff you guys have been hearing about, the piss incident and all that, he's still a big star. You know? Triple H needs to hurry up and build the next top star, and they need to be young enough to carry the company for another decade. Facts. The thing is, the last guy they really had, John Cena. John Cena was, what year is he born? 77 or 78? He was born in, I believe, 77. He got pushed when he was 28, right? 28 years old, he's the guy. From there, they pushed him for about 10 years. They need something like that again. You know what's crazy? This is the crazy part. Cody Rhodes is the same age as John Cena was in 2017. We all thought John Cena was going to retire back then. Yeah, Roman's not going to be there. If they fumble Obafemi, man, bro, they'll fumble everyone. They'll fumble Stone Cold if they brought him in again. Who do you think is the face of the women's division? Rhea Ripley. Easy. She's like the constant that's going to be near the top. I have to go Premier Peace out. I think Rhea Ripley, they want to push Tiffany Stratton, but only time will tell how she ends up. Well, it's Rhea Ripley. Asuka's still around. Io's doing very good. Jade, they want her to be much more than she is, but she still needs to work on the in-ring stuff. We'll see. Most people can say whatever they want about John Cena's heel turn, but he still turned heel twice and in WWE. What? Crazy to think about how Rock and Austin left not long after Cena and Batista and Orton, all these guys were born. You know what's funny? They had Brock Lesnar there, but even though he left, they didn't suffer without him because they had Cena and Orton and Batista. And then Edge and Rey Mysterio and all those new guys. I see Rhea and Io as equally the top faces in the women's division right now. Rhea and Bianca. I think Bianca, they're going to heat her up again in the near future. Obafemi might be good. Well, hopefully. Tiffany Stratton's time reign has been long, so clearly they like her. Yeah, 250 days. Just crazy. Now they really like her. She's not bad. It's just I feel like she needs like something like story related to push her even further. You know? Well, they got really lucky, I'd say, with Randy Orton, John Cena, all those guys, because like in the mid 2000s, if you were a kid, those guys seemed like the biggest stars out there. And then you had Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and all those guys around as well. They really lucked out, and I think they have talent. They have talent right now, obviously, but they're doing these long-term story things. They're taking things slow, and I don't know. To explain it for a moment, that like the CM Punk thing, he returned 2 years ago, but he's been doing mostly the same stuff, like Drew and Seth and Drew, and it's like it's been 2 years. He's not going to be around forever. Why doesn't he have other stories with other talent? Sol Ruka, future main event talent, in my opinion, she's amazing. The reason why I stopped watching NXT, by the way, I stopped watching NXT like 2018. The reason why I stopped watching NXT is because you get invested in talent, as characters, as wrestlers, all that, right? And once they get to the main roster, they don't get pushed as much as they do. Things happen, or WWE themselves just decide, we're not going to push you. like EC3. And I stopped watching NXT because I thought to myself, it's not worth the investment. Like, yeah, I could watch some of the matches, but I don't want to be invested in these characters. Because WWE themselves aren't invested in them. You know? And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because whenever people talk about talent from NXT, like, I still see it. Carmelo Hayes, this guy. Once they get to the main roster, they're not positioned in certain roles. And again, just because you're good in NXT doesn't obviously mean you're good on the main roster, but there's some times where it's like they stifle said talent. You get what I mean? Like, I don't expect Adam Cole to be a multi-time world champion on the main roster. I'm just saying, like, they don't set them up well when they debut. Adam Cole just left. He didn't want to stay. I think they'll pull the trigger on heel Bianca when she comes back, especially since Triple H is still big on doing Rhea versus Bianca on Mania next year, and that's still considered a dream match. They could have done it this year, though. You ended up having a great one. EO Sky. Would you do a video about OVW? I mean, we can, but is it really a good... I'm not sure. Yeah, bro, you see Mel's crowd reaction when he returned to NXT recently versus on the main roster, where he's a jobber and gets no reaction. Yeah. I know it's late to say this, but what's your thoughts on the Raja Jackson situation? Bro, when I heard Rampage himself distant from his son and denounced him, which is sad, by the way, I kind of understood why. Like, obviously, it's his son. He's got to defend him. But it got to a point where it's like, this is his own doing. And the Raja Jackson thing, it kind of showed you that a lot of people don't really know about professional wrestling. Like, this guy thought he was going to get his shots back in, his payback. He's going to do it in the middle of a wrestling event. After he apologized. But it was stupid all around. Stupid, it was reckless, and I just don't understand how he himself, Raja Jackson, didn't realize this is gonna lead to much bigger problems in the future. I never understood it. You know? He almost killed the guy. WrestleMania Saudi, I'm very concerned. Ronaldo's gonna be the host. The main event's gonna be Undertaker versus Goldberg Part 2. Stuff. Carmelo Hayes needs the U.S. title already. He needs to have a trilogy rivalry with Sami Zayn and win the title and have an MVP-esque reign. You know, he could be the next champion, but that could be a long time from now. We'll see. Mental illness is real. He lost it, bro. He should've... What's up, Zach? Welcome to the stream. I just don't understand. Like, actually, I do understand when you go off adrenaline and stuff, but he had a lot of time to think that, you know? I saw Rampage denounce. I'm like, damn. You should have seen the Saudi announcement. LOL. The look on Vaquer's face said, "Oh, I saw them. Undertaker and Ronaldo versus Roman Reigns and Messi. Who knows?" Like, the problem with the Saudi Arabia shows, they go there, and it feels like it's not genuine, which it obviously isn't. They pay them money. And WrestleMania right now has been like this hot thing for countries. Well, not countries, cities. So obviously they're gonna want to look to do it internationally. I do think eventually they'll do. Well, actually, I'm not sure that the UK will ever get it because they bid for WrestleMania now. You know, if London wants it, they gotta bid a lot of money. Thoughts on Jeff Jarrett? He's actually featured in the next video. Funny you say that. Jeff Jarrett, I think he's not bad, but he's not as good as he made himself out to be in his career. He did bring TNA though. I'd say it's like 7 out of 10 or 7, in between 7 and 7.5. I'd give him. He's not a bad wrestler at all. He's a good heel, but his heel tendencies aren't like main event level. You get what I mean? But he has some good stuff. I just don't think he's as good as the other people around him. I wish we could have gotten WWE's original idea, which was have the real WrestleMania in the United States and a separate WrestleMania show on a different day. Well, they want the real one. Saudi Arabia wants to own all sports. They're gonna, bro. You'll see. Saudi Arabia, UAE, they own a lot of things recently. You know, like boxing, they're making it their own thing right now, which is funny. You're gonna see more. I think you'll see more NFL and NBA teams eventually. Like, they're gonna find ways to invest in them. London should have been the first WrestleMania outside of the US. It's a shame that the first ever WrestleMania that doesn't take place in the States isn't in the UK or Paris. Bro, we need a WrestleMania in Barcelona, bro. Canel Du Bruno, what up? Welcome to the stream, bro. Welcome back, I'd say. Dave Meltzer said the Saudis are going to contact every legend available for their show, so don't expect guys like Braun Breaker. Bro, Braun Breaker's a jobber. No one cares about him. Well, at least in their eyes. Vince Russo loves him, yeah. It's my world. You think Chris Jericho will come back home to WWE? Yeah, easy. Bruh. That guy loves Fozzy. He likes the attention he receives. He's gonna go back. Easy. Break the walls down. X Games Saudi Arabia. Bro, they got everything. You know? Obviously doing it to change the perception of the country, you know, but you suck. Hey. Why do I suck? I do think this is the only way we're going to get Rock versus Roman. If he's going to Saudi, so beat it. The thing I'm saying is, like, out of all the legends, Rock is the one that makes sense to come. Jericho will probably be on the WrestleMania 43. Yeah. It's a huge comedy event happening in Saudi Arabia in a few weeks. Yeah, so... Well, actually, I didn't see that. Bro, did you watch Lesnar ripping his pants last night? Yeah, I thought it was SpongeBob. Goldberg coming out of retirement for Saudi. Bro, when you think about it, Goldberg's... These wrestlers, not just Goldberg, like the legends, they're going to make a lot of money from these events. Like, the purses for these events are going to be insane, seeing as they're back on pay-per-view. Although TKO might scam them out of it, seeing as the pay-per-view nowadays aren't the same as back then. Because, like, when the network came around, WWE stopped paying pay-per-view buys, right? They give you a certain amount based on the contract. You can't make more than that. If you're, like, a top guy, you can. So it's going to be interesting to see how it is now that pay-per-view's back. I thought WWE was an American company. They're a Saudi Arabian company in 3 years. Just wait up, bro. I don't even care about Roman versus Rock. WWE, that's what you do. What are you talking about, Zamir? What are you talking about, Zamir? Come on, explain. The wrestlers don't get extra for the Saudi shows. They only get paid normal. See? Beggars can't be choosers. They'll be Rock and Roman. I think that's going to be the one. Why should we want to see a guy who just wants our money? Rock? I don't know. Maybe for storyline purposes. They're going to force poor John Cena out of retirement for Saudi. Rock wants to own WWE just to say he owns it. There's a chance it could happen, you know. He could go much higher. They could invest in him as an executive and stuff, and he'll be like the leader of WWE. The Rock is a megalomaniac. And Triple H is wonderful. WWE streaming Canelo versus Crawford. It's on Netflix. Or is that internationally? I'm not sure. They used to get more money for going overseas. Yup. Things are different now. Andrade leaving WWE today is the least surprising thing. It's not surprising. It's not. Nah, Cena ain't coming back. He's above this. I don't think he'll come back, but if China told him to come back for an event, he certainly would, bro. AEW ain't taking him back. I think if he stays around, he could go to CMLL. Then he could go back to AEW. We'll see. Watching WWE 2007 compared to now, Lord, so much better. You're gonna be checking out AEW All Out? Yeah, of course, bro. Listen, I'm watching All Out. I know WrestlePalooza on that day. I'm kind of stressed about that day, to be honest. Like, these TKO fucks, bro. They're gonna make me work overtime. Well, actually, it's a good thing, because I might get views off it, but I'm gonna make All Out and WrestlePalooza. And I'm gonna get a big headache during the day once I finish the events. It's gonna be crazy. Like, I watched All In. You guys don't understand. I watched AEW All In like 2 months ago, right? The event was 6 hours. I had to go out for a long-ass walk because I couldn't feel my hands and my legs because I was sitting so long. I'm like, bro, this is too long. And that was All In. You know, it really exhausted me. Then the next day was the Evolution show. And the weird part is I made videos for those two events, but I never released them. All Out has had a lackluster build. It's a quick one. Like AEW, they don't usually do month to month. Hey, bro, how you doing? Your regular viewer since 2019. Good to see you. Shout out to you, ass kicker, along to the stream. I'm doing good recently. Too much wrestling, yeah, bro. If Rock wins an Oscar for Smashing Machine like I'm hearing he might, he ain't ever stepping foot in a wrestling ring again. He might. There's a lot of narratives there. You know, Rock winning his first Oscar, actually taking his movie serious, all that. 6 hours because most of the audience are basement dwellers are afraid of the sun. Bro, I had to go out for a walk, bro. I really had to go for a walk. I went for a long walk afterwards. It's kind of dark. Damn, that felt so long. Oh my god. Like, just think about All In, bro. Ooh. Ride the life, though. AEW isn't doing any better either. Let's not get that twisted. Yeah, bro. Like, listen. Don't listen to the people on the internet. WWE and AEW aren't doing good recently. Some stuff you might enjoy, the product or whatever, but in terms of viewership, they're not doing it. And I'm not a ratings guy or anything like that, but we're just trying to talk about it from a different perspective. Also, I've been watching for a while. Shout out to you. Okay. Can we agree that the Death Rider should have ended when Hangman defeated Jon Moxley and Jon should have taken time off and came back as a babyface? I think he could have, but what's it called? I think he should have lost to Darby afterwards. Not gonna lie, bro, you look like Indy. You got the wrong continent, buddy. Wrestling's in this weird low right now. It ain't doing so. You know? Pay-per-view. What about MLW? Are they doing it? I don't know. I hear random stuff. Matt Riddle, Satoshi Kojima. I don't watch MLW, honestly. And the way you talked about the Michaels versus Angle WrestleMania, I had to watch it again. I haven't watched that match since then. We'll get back to it. After All In, AEW's kind of been in the gutter. Tony Khan isn't taking advantage of what TKO is doing. He's just sitting there booking week to week. The ECW thing, I don't know. The ECW arena, I don't know why they went there for 2 weeks. Like, honestly. Like, it was nice for one event, but they had to stay there as if it's a resort or something, bro. Is the Edge and Christian match at All Out? I believe it is. I believe so. I'm not sure. Did you see that video of Tony Khan running? It was hilarious. Yeah, so Tony. Anyways. What have you guys been watching any matches recently? Like not like WWE or AEW matches of today. If you watched anything old in particular. Ohio Valley Wrestling still existing is shocking for me. The former developmental brand for WWE. Yeah, TNA, OVW. I don't know how they still exist, bro. They just do. WWE is unwatchable for years, but AEW has good stuff going on during the show. I watch it on and off. I can't pay attention. You can't pay attention to the show. Hip hop has the same problem too. Remember when we all thought Sofago, Con Summers, and all these dudes were gonna be the future of hip hop? Now I'm gonna rely on you and Cardi for a decade now. Me? Yeah. Hip hop has this issue. Like even Drake doesn't. Like Drake, he's past his prime now. Everything's different, you know? No, actually everything's the same. It's not changed. Like they still look at Young Thug. They still look at Travis Scott. All these guys for releases. They don't know about NWA Roddy Piper. WWF doesn't either. Just rewatched End of an Era recently. Still works for me. Yeah, that was a great one. Can it be from Japan or Mexico? Nah, anything. Like I'm just asking because like I watched what's it called? I watched a lot of matches in the last month, you know? You're like, why? Because I'm trying to see classics, bro. I'm tired of watching DQ finishes, bro. I watched this War Games 92. Some of you guys are familiar. It was Paul Heyman's guys against Sting's guys, right? And this War Games match, best War Games match ever. I watched Art Barr and Eddie Guerrero. Art Barr's kind of a alleged predator. They faced El Hijo del Santo in Octagon. You guys know the AAA match. It's one of the most famous AAA matches ever. I thought that was good. I watched Ray versus Psychosis 95. A lot of stuff, you know. And WWE's Vault has actually been good stuff, you know. I rewatched Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles at Money in the Bank 2019. I forgot how great that match was. Yeah, that was a good one. I haven't watched it since. Oh yeah, I've been working on a couple of videos. So I have this Paul London ROH video. I'm gonna put it to the side. I finished it like a month ago, but I didn't edit it yet. Kurt Angle's WWE return. We're working on that at the moment. That's not the next video. Next video is probably wrestling's when wrestlers bet on themselves. Unforgiven 06. That's my favorite pay-per-view ever, bro. Swear to God. Unforgiven 06, bro. My favorite event. I had that event on DVD as a kid. I was 5 years old. Wonderful. Ray versus Juvie 1998 on Thunder. Great match. Nah, Juventud and Ray, they got it back then. Art Bar invented the frog splash. Little do people know. Yeah, that was a great match. I watched it. I'm like, bro, he was a good talent, but there's a certain incident he had before his career, which is like a black mark. And then he died after that match, so it wasn't too good for him. Eddie obviously still looked up to him because he's his good friend. Cena versus Lesnar doesn't need a build, so they already have history together, so I don't care. They actually do have history. Cena's breakout year as a character 03, as a wrestler 07. I watched Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano from TakeOver War Games 2018 peak NXT. Now, NXT was vibes back then. I just couldn't get into it after a certain point because the characters, they called them up. And then you hear D. Ambrose tell EC3, where's EC1 and 2, which was funny, by the way. Hilarious. Kind of sad Cena never had a Hell in a Cell match during the Ruthless Aggression era days. He could have been incredible and ruthless with blood and stuff. Low key. Thoughts on Jeff Jarrett beating up women and feuding with China? I mean, he was a good heel back then. Bro, he didn't care. He used to be like, you woman belong in the kitchen. And then he beats the mom. Then the China thing happened. Nah, that China match was good. I like that video you made about the post-invasion era before WWE became WWE. Yeah, that was a good one, bro. I enjoyed making that one a lot. Is it true Cena was said to beat Edge at Unforgiven because he wanted to turn heel on SmackDown? I think, honestly, with regards to that, I think he was just mad because he killed Edge to win the title. You know, he FU'd him off the ladder onto the tables. Loki, I gotta watch that again. You know, we gotta watch that. Wonderful match. FTR paid tribute to Art Bar and Eddie a couple of years ago with the American attires when they wrestled Penta and Phoenix in AAA. Nice. Now that tag team match is like, it's one of Eddie's most iconic matches. Have you watched old New Japan? Yeah. Yesterday I watched that Okada and AJ Styles match because I never watched it before. I think Dontaku 2014. I fell asleep, bro. I know. Listen, it was 2 a.m. I fell asleep, but I wasn't interested in the match. So I wake up. I'm like, was that match not good or did I fall asleep? So I search it. A lot of people thought the same thing. It wasn't as good. But I did watch Tomohiro Ishii against Katsuyori Shibata. G1. I watched it a long time ago, but I watched it again yesterday. Incredible match. Incredible match. Thoughts on D'Lo Brown? Good mid-carder. I think he could have been the IC champion in that era. Like, if they had Road Dogg Jesse James as IC champion, by the way, one of the worst bookers in wrestling history, why can't D'Lo get it? Well, actually, he did. D'Lo did become Eurocontinental. Did he? Did D'Lo become IC champion? I don't think he did. Let me check. D'Lo did not become IC champion. No, he was. July 27th, 1999. I actually don't remember that. Yeah, he was IC champion. I got it wrong. You gotta watch their Dominion 2015. Nah, I'm gonna watch their other matches. I saw they have a G1 match. If you're like, how do you know about these matches? I searched them on Cage Match, right? I look at a certain wrestler, I'm like, Then we go from there. I watched Okada versus Tanahashi 2012. The Okada surprise when he won the belt. Good match. D'Lo Brown's the best European champ. Facts. He actually did. Yeah, bro. It's just, I got it wrong. Dude, New Japan got me. Kota Ibushi pulled. Him versus Kenny Omega, Okada, and Shinsuke was incredible. Yeah, we've been watching Noah match, Pro Wrestling Noah, WCW matches. There's a lot of stuff. It's just like whenever I see a match that's an hour long, I tend to avoid it because sometimes I watch it at night and I might fall asleep. So it's like, okay. I watched the entire Kenny versus Okada 4-match saga. Was incredible. Man, it was so long. Nah, those were wonderful matches. Name a couple within the last month. What match? What should I name? I know the matches by heart because I had Access TV back in the day when it was Ronaldo doing the commentary. And one issue I kind of have is with the Noah matches from the 2000s. They don't got English commentary to give like context and stuff. Although a lot of the context is in the ring. It's a bit unfortunate. D'Lo Brown's theme song was good. Facts. What will you remember in 4 months? From recently? Cody versus Cena. That Anarchy. I don't remember much recently, to be honest. Not just an ingredient match in WWE within the month. Dom versus AJ was a decent match, but then the finish was bad. Like, it was Paris and all that. Then it's like, oh, they ruined it. Logan Paul and Cena. I know Logan's not the best seller. He doesn't understand psychology. But I thought it was a good match. 2 matches. You said it the last month, bro. Like, I haven't been watching a lot. Kenta Kobashi is honestly one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. It's no wonder John Cena was a New Japan Pro Wrestling fanboy and took inspiration for the Forward Pillars. Facts. Nah, they have a lot of intensity there. Out of 20 hours of TV, bro, I haven't watched them recently. There's some matches. It's just they fly within. They fly through my head like boom. Yesterday, Sammy and what's his name? Dragon Lee. I mean Phoenix, bro. I mistaken him with. Bro, I'm lost right now, to be honest. Anyways, what were we talking about? Yeah, matches. A lot of the matches just don't stand out, to be honest. Like, Phoenix. I got confused. I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's like reading a boring book. Like, it's so weird. Like, as a kid, listen. As a kid, I know about all the events, all the matches, right? All the matches. Nowadays, they go through my head. Like, I don't remember many of them. It's like I never watched wrestling. It's weird. Maybe it's the fact that the product feels so generic at the moment. Like, yeah. Sammy and Phoenix was a good match yesterday, but, like, what's it called? I wasn't too invested in it. It was after Brock ripped his pants. They had some good spots. But there was 3 commercials. I remember yesterday, 3 commercials during the show, and I kind of lost investment in it, you know? Fortunate. If you watch a short 10-minute match, go watch Shibata. I watched it yesterday. Wonderful. You take a Canadian store from Prime Stress. Hey, bro, if you bring me in the ring, I'm selling like I'm freaking Dolph Ziggler. S4 07 actually came out late 06. Yeah. Like, you asked me. Listen, for example. What's the best match from November of 2006? I'm going to answer straight up. And I'm going to ask myself that question. What's the best match from November of 2006? Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle. November 06. Kurt Angle's first pay-per-view match. Best match that month. You ask me, what's the best match from May of 2007? I'm going to be like, Batista versus Undertaker Steel Cage. What's his name? Chris Harris versus James Storm. I can't do that now. And I kind of do hate that because it's like everything's so numb. There's not a lot of emotion. Like, I enjoy a certain match, but after it happens, there's not, There's not a lot of interest. Not even that, but the Sammy fatigue is real. I just think they should stop pushing him as an underdog. Like, he's not as much of an underdog as he was in the past, but I think he should just, like, be the guy, you know? Angle on the perks. Yeah, he doesn't like that, but he was crazy back then. You ask me, best match from April 2002. I'm gonna be like Edge and Kurt Angle. North America, obviously. How old are you? I'm 23. About to turn 24 this year, of course. What's better, 2000 Kurt Angle or 2007? 07, bro. It's like we got into wrestling at the same time as a kid, and I stopped in 08 due to PG and started again with AEW during COVID. Bloodline Sammy was awesome. Yup. Oh, best match from, say, for example, August 2014. I'ma name it. You agree with the Sammy Hogan comments? Not entirely, but listen, I'm gonna tell you guys something straight up. Best match of January 7th, bro. It's Cena and Umaga. I don't agree with the Sammy Hogan comments. It's just listen. I'm gonna tell you something. Listen. I think a lot of people kind of forget that for as much as Sami Zayn is an underdog, he's not an underdog anymore. You get what I mean? That's number 1. Number 2, I feel like the internet over-exaggerates stuff. Best match of June 05. Batista and Triple H, Hell in a Cell. Samoa Joe, Necro Butcher. Samoa Joe, Chris Sabin, I believe. They face off. People are too hard on Sami Zayn. They act like he's being pushed too hard. No, I just think they see him all the time, you know? I don't think it's Sammy Hogan. I don't know. It's a weird thing. The guy almost won the belt before Mania, but Cody had to win it. Yeah. I wonder what happened to Jacob Fatu. He's barely on SmackDown lately. I don't know. What's the best WrestleMania match in WrestleMania history? Angle and HBK. Best match of May 05. Bro, this guy wants me to talk about John Cena. It's John Cena and JBL. If it wasn't for Cody, Sammy would have won the world champ. Yeah. I don't think he's Sammy Hogan, but I feel like WWE's not protecting him in certain roles, so they throw him out there, and everyone tends to criticize him for that. Also, he's very political, Sammy. Yeah, of course. Sammy still deserves a world title. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, it's just, listen, I'm going to tell you guys. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed when they learn that Sami Zayn is probably not going to challenge Seth Rollins for that title at WrestleMania. Like, some people are actually expecting it to still happen. I think a Sami Zayn World Championship story could be good. They're not going to book the title reign afterwards good, but I think the lead up to it would be amazing, but we're probably going to have to wait a little for that. I think the biggest issue is the lack of compelling storylines. Matches sometimes feel like moves just for the sake of doing moves. There's not, listen, there's not a lot of matches. Like, I see a match, good, great, whatever. But how many matches do you guys really remember this year? WWE, AEW, New Japan, Noah, AAA, CMLL. How many matches do you guys actually, like, really remember? Every time when a heel does a heel act in WWE, some sensitive fans are just clowns. Blake Monroe did a segment on Jordan Grace talking about her Bobby, and fans on the Instagram are soft. Isn't that Blake Monroe's character, though? Plus, Jordan Grace is the face. He's obviously going to beat her up and stuff. So do I. I like Sami, but he's annoying AF now, and I hated him before the Bloodline stuff. Now, I like Sami Zayn, but I wish, bro, low-key, I wish it was back to like how it was in 2014, you know? Like, back then, he felt like this pure underdog. He's a bit of an underdog, but not as much as he was in the past. Insane ECW house show in 06. Yep. Not much, but the problem is too many shows in a week. Yeah, I don't... Listen. I don't watch a lot of wrestling. Like, they'd be like, oh, you gotta watch all these events. Like, no, this is not a religious duty, bro. I'm not gonna sit down and watch all these events. I don't feel like it. You get what I mean? And the fans are sensitive. Let heels do their job. I feel like sometimes, listen, sometimes people talk to talk. They like hearing the sound of their voice. And number two, my favorite one, they see what other people say and they jump in. They're like, yeah, that's true. Like, go on Twitter. Let me tell you guys this. Go on Twitter. You're going to see a lot of people parrot the same opinion that another person did. They don't genuinely believe in that. You get what I mean? Wrestling's too shitty nowadays to sit and watch everything. WWE's just ads, yeah. AJ versus Bryan 2020. Wonderful match. Does anyone turn face or heel in AEW? Yeah. Daniel Garcia just turned heel. But, like, my memory gets jogged. Like, you tell me a great match, I'm like, when did it happen? You know what I do remember? I remember Io Sky faced Stephanie Vaquer the night after WrestleMania. I remember John Cena and Cody Rhodes at, SummerSlam. I remember... What else? I'm trying to think of other matches. Like, WWE... It's tough. I remember Hangman versus Jon Moxley. There's a lot of stuff you can remember, but at the same time, I don't think these products are pushing... But at the same time, I don't think these products are doing their best to make everything memorable. Sting's retirement match. Facts. You have a favorite Raw or SmackDown match from back then? Yeah. My favorite SmackDown match was actually Ray versus Randy Orton. SmackDown for WrestleMania 22. Wonderful. My favorite Raw match is Cena versus HBK in London. Easy. I watched that one live. I'm like, why did Raw end early? Turns out these guys went 40 minutes. The WrestleMania 40 match, the last minutes was cinema. Yeah. Hangman versus Mox was good, but we've seen it. I got you with a recommendation. Bret Hart versus Chris Benoit, the Owen Hart tribute for Nitro in 1999. Bret's last great match. Yeah, I've been wanting to watch that, but it's been a while. It's been a while since I watched a Benoit match off like not making a video on it. Rhea and Io had 4 classics almost back to back. Yeah, those matches. The Evolution match is one of the best matches of the year for WWE, easily. Raw is stale nowadays. Even Raw during 2020 had better storylines when they did the whole Retribution story. Yeah, that story was horrific. Yeah, now listen. Be honest. When you turn on Netflix at 8 o'clock, right? Dun-dun. Some of you probably live internationally. Some of you live in the West Coast, right? You see ads. You see glazing. You see Jelly Roll, Logan Paul. These people, bro. They show us these people like, bro, we have to sit through this for an hour? This is what we have to sit through and subject ourselves through? And sometimes I actually turn off the TV. I put on YouTube or something. And remember, YouTube's not doing too well recently. It's kind of boring. But I put on YouTube overall sometimes because it's dry. Retribution was so stupid, yeah. What up, Dex? Welcome to the stream. Have you watched Rock versus Chris Benoit Fully Loaded? Of course, yeah. I did. It's a good match. You have an old pay-per-view you bring back? Honestly, no. Like, the nostalgia stuff is just a lie. Like, if I bring back Armageddon, it's not going to feel like Armageddon back then. They're not going to put us a good stage. They're not going to put a 3 stages of hell match or whatever. A 6-man Hell in a Cell. They're not doing that. Not Mayhem or Nitro 98, but specifically 99. Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with that match. They just want the money and views. The money's going to dry up because the quality is not up to par. Like, if you want a lot of money, you need a lot of quality. You get what I mean? Mustafa Ali, Retribution had potential. The Retribution thing, they needed like a top guy, to be honest. Like, if they got try to read the comments to the chat. Read the comments of my latest video. Yeah. Alright, where were we? Wrestling banking on the live show experience. Sometimes the live show experience isn't as good as it is. Yeah, you see a lot of fans speaking up now. Listen, you guys have been in the streams for a while. You guys saw when I used to talk bad about Triple H like 2 years ago and everyone was glazing him. Now everyone's kind of realizing, you know? You like the corporate ministry. I don't think it was well thought out. It could have been much bigger than it was. Cyber Sunday was one of my favorite pay-per-view ideas, even though the matches weren't amazing. The best Cyber Sunday match was Randy Orton versus Shawn Michaels. Easy. That and Batista and The Undertaker. Retribution was like the new and worse version of the Nexus, except literally no one remembers Retribution. Bro, Nexus was like, bruh. Search Nexus on YouTube right now. Search it. 32 million views. 50 million views. 100 million views. Hot take, the Bronx is the worst borough in NYC. I mean, I've never been to the Bronx. I'm not sure. You talking bad about New York? It's just a fact, bro. They're doing WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. Vince would never allowed that. He probably would. I don't know. Thoughts on Stone Cold versus Steve... Stone Cold versus Chris Benoit, May 31st. Great match. And again, this is a prime example of why you should watch wrestling with your own eyes. A lot of people, they say Stone Cold was never the same after his injury in 97. Is that true? Yeah. But they try to make it seem like he wrestled punch kick matches all the time in Brawls. That match is a prime example of when he didn't wrestle that style. Me and my family went all the time growing up. Zoo. I only go for the zoo. Oh. Say what you want about how Nexus is buried by CM. At least they had the more memorable moments. Bro, the Nexus story, June 2010. Remember that. Everything changed when they came in. Like, WWE was so dry after WrestleMania. I remember they... You guys remember this episode of Raw where David Otunga got to host the show and he was like this big-ass douche? Like, he had the raw cut, you know? He had it faded into his hair. That episode sucks. I remember another time Batista destroyed Daniel Bryan in like 3 minutes. There was nothing going on. Then the Nexus come in and it's like something to look forward to because it was a big story, it had effort. It's something to look forward to. They obviously messed it up at the end and Nexus weren't as good as they made them out to be and all that, but it was exciting in the beginning. Retribution, everyone hated on it. They were like, this is Antifa. Speaking of Stone Cold, favorite match of his. My favorite Stone Cold match is low-key WrestleMania 19. Yeah, WrestleMania 19, him and The Rock. The last one. That one, and I wrote... Again, I write a lot of stuff as my favorite matches. Alright, my favorite Austin matches. My favorite is Bret Hart in WrestleMania 13. Shawn Michaels King of the Ring 97. And The Rock matches. Yeah, those are my favorites. Have you ever watched WWE Confidential? On the network, yes. Peacock got rid of Raw, of course. Is David Otunga actually a lawyer? I think he's still with WWE. He is a lawyer. He is, right? We can't even watch the Attitude Era again because no streaming services have him. If you get a VPN, you go to Germany, you can watch the Attitude Era on the WWE Network for only €9.90. Well, actually, €3.99. I'd like you like the Vengeance on one man. And just Stone Cold matches. Oh. Let's be honest. People say Stone Cold is the go to wrestling are lying. Paul and Elizabeth Cena is better than Austin and Rock and had a more legendary career rivals. Bro, I think Austin's the GOAT of everything. I did watch Canadian Stampede. Wonderful. Watched like 6 years ago. I'm in a hospital right now, so this is keeping me occupied. Rubber Ducky, we wish you well. We'll be here for a while. We hope you enjoy the stream. We hope you enjoy the next couple of videos. I know I sound like PR, but we're genuine right now. You know, we wish you the best, Rubber Ducky. Austin's the GOAT. I'll tell you why. Every metric of professional wrestling, he's around the top. I think he's the best of all time, Stone Cold. Stone Cold is not my favorite of all time, but I think he's the best of all time. Especially when we talk about wrestlers in North America, bro. I'm telling you guys, Stone Cold, he was a great mid-carder, a great tag team wrestler, and a great main eventer. Then on top of that, you add his performances before he became Stone Cold in-ring, and after he became Stone Cold in-ring. As a character, as a character, he brought attitude to the WWF. Promos, match catalog, everything. Stone Cold's #1 for me. Like, I think Stone Cold's the best ever. Wish you the best, Rubber Ducky. Yeah, Rubber Ducky. We're here with you. Austin was a great technician, yeah. To wrestling fans, Stone Cold was always the GOAT. He is. I just think he is. Like, when I put real thought into it. And by the way, I have another list. If you're like, why are you writing this stuff? I write this stuff down so I can remember it. Let me see. Wrestlers. Don't forget the cultural impact he had. Facts. Stone Cold's the best ever. Where's my list? I wrote a list like 2 months ago of the top 10 best North American wrestlers. And if you're like, why North American, not Japanese? Because like Japanese, they do things different. Their metrics are a bit different there. But the best wrestlers, I put Stone Cold #1, Hulk Hogan #2. And again, I was literally, this was before Hogan died. You know, I can show you the date. It was before he died. I actually put Hogan at 7 initially, but I switched it like a little bit before. Ric Flair #3, Randy Savage #4, Shawn Michaels #5, John Cena #6, 7 The Undertaker, 8 Bret Hart, 9 The Rock, and 10, and this is a bit crazy, Rey Mysterio. I put Sting, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, Terry Funk, Andre the Giant, Antonio Inoki. I know he was in Japan, but he has a lot of influence. Dusty Rhodes, AJ Styles, and Bruno Sammartino. I think that was my top 20. Then there's other icons like Roddy Piper, Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, Harley Race, Eddie Guerrero. These guys. Then there's others, anomalies like Brock Lesnar and all that. There's a lot of stuff here. Like, when you think about it, it's a tough list to make. And then I had a ranking of all-around wrestlers. Austin's still #1. Flair's #2. Shawn Michaels #3. Savage 4. Jericho. Angle. Danielson. Guerrero. The Rock. CM Punk. I think John Cena deserves a spot in there. It's a nice list. If you're like, why is that list the way it is? It's based on impact, drawing power, character, matches, all that. Very good list, so many legends. Imagine a whole ballroom calling you a racial slur. What? I put CM Punk in my top 20 all time as for wrestlers I watched growing up. Ray's amazing. I think Ray deserves that spot because he's different, bro. Listen. For those of you in here, watch Rey Mysterio before WWE. I'm telling you, watch him before. Watch him in WCW, watch him in ECW, watch him in Mexico. You're going to see a crazy talent, one of the most smooth wrestlers ever. Ray was still smooth in WWE, but in ECW and all that, he was crazy. You know, like, he was something you never seen before. And to a lot of us, it's normal now, but back then, people couldn't comprehend seeing this little guy jump in the way he did. So that's why he's in the top 10. New Jack dealt with that. The ballroom thing. Culture, impact in terms of wrestling storylines. Why are you just lying? Austin, he's adapted through all the times. Yup. ECW Ray was insane. Facts. You know what I mean? In terms of all-around wrestlers, it's a bit different, you know? I also had some modern greats in here. modern greats in terms of like the ROH and stuff like that. We had Kenny Omega, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Kazuchika Okada, Seth Rollins, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kenta. Kenta's like this. Everyone's inspired by Kenta. What's his name? Kota Ibushi, Will Ospreay. A lot of guys. Like, it's so hard to make a list. It really is. You have to look at certain metrics and be like, this is who the best is in all this. I can't believe Mr. Kennedy never came back to WWE. I'm not gonna lie, I unsubbed from Maven's channel just got old. He doesn't have, listen, Maven's a great wrestling YouTuber, but he doesn't have a lot of stuff to talk about. You get what I mean? I still watch him though. You know, we're always watching Maven. Hey guys, Maven here. Now, back in my time in WWE, I looked forward to watching the action, going in there, battling some matches. This is how he talks. Now, there was some times where I questioned why I was signed. And right now, I'm about to give you 10 moments where I almost quit WWE. Then he talks. He talks about Devon, of course. Devon. He's always mentioning Devon in the videos. Sure, in the 90s, when you think WWE, you think Austin. But now if you think WWE, you think, well, yeah, obviously, I think of John Cena. I think of World Wrestling Entertainment now. You get what I mean? Maven kind of fell off a little. He acts like a professor. Now, hey guys, Maven here. Now, check out Mr. Kennedy's podcast, Mic Check with Mr. Anderson. Chris Benoit could have been top 10 if that crazy situation never happened. You know what the worst part is? I think in terms of wrestling, he's the best ever. Probably. I think he understood what he should do and how he should do it. So how many Austin matches have you seen, and how many of them were before 1997? So you can't answer me, Mr. David. All right, let me ask you guys a question. Let's be interactive a bit before we go on Twitter. And by the way, I had to work so hard to clean the Twitter feed because they're just talking about Charlie Kirk, bro. Like, I'm not trying to see blood on the timeline. We've seen enough as it is in the last 3 days. But I need some of your hot takes. That's what I want. Some of you guys' hot takes, some of the craziest stuff, some of the most radical stuff you guys ever thought to yourself. That's what we want. Ava Rain is getting backlash for her Instagram story. Yeah, I saw that. The Rock probably told her to put it down, bro. Hey, bro, what up, Superkick TV? Nice competition. You see Superkick TV in here? We did this Wrestling World Cup thing, you know? We had this Wrestling World Cup, and you guys probably didn't hear about it a lot because a lot of the bigger YouTubers didn't want to be in it. But I was one of them. Me, Marky D, and a couple of Spanish wrestling YouTubers. It was a good thing, you know? It was very interesting. Disturbing, man. I'm thankful for the stream to keep that stuff out of my head. Now, it's been on my head recently. And if you're like, why is that on your head in particular? It's because, you know, like when you see in the US, it's like crazy. Then again, a lot of people don't have that same regard for people in Palestine, but it's just like, it's closer when you hear about it in the US. What's the craziest hot takes you guys have, like wrestling related? It's effing me up, bro. Nah, that's a crazy video. It's like you hear about these characters, and I didn't like them. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you and act like I liked them or anything. He said a lot of stuff and all that, but like when you see the video, it's crazy. That's not to be disrespectful to Austin. He's had iconic moments and matches like the Rock and Zeddy match. Randy Orton should retire. No. He still could go, bro. Randy Orton could still go. I'm telling you. Dean Malenko was great in the 90s. Great talent. Maven trying to manufacture a beef with Just Incredible is cringe. I watched that video recently. It's kind of a weird one. Now, hey guys, Maven. Yeah, RVD should have been punished, bro. Like, RVD is what it is. Let me see if I could go on Twitter and go look at some wrestling stuff. What the hell? I got scared, bro. Bro, I thought I saw a picture of Tiffany, bro. Oh my god. Alright, the timeline looks good. We're gonna go back on Twitter. I haven't been on it in a while. My hot take is that Bayley and Sasha Banks are the world wrestlers of all time. They're too cringy. They're the worst, bro. He's gone pretty big, Orton. I think he's the biggest I've ever seen. Yup. Big dog Roman Reigns is the greatest of all time. This isn't a hot take, it's a fact. Vince McMahon booked Austin Theory better. Yeah. Where do you rank Edge and Orton? They're kind of weird ones to rank, honestly, like in the history, because it's a bit tough. Like in my favorites, they're top 10. Favorites, not best. My favorites list wouldn't have Hulk Hogan and a couple of other those guys. Those two are my top 10, but in terms of all time, it's so tough because we look at influence and stuff like that and like career. Like I think Randy Orton should be top 10 all time. He should be, but he didn't try to be top 10 throughout his entire career. It's like he knew how good he was, but he didn't feel like going beyond that. Monty Brown should have been champion. W. Jinder Mahal was a great WWE champion. Big Show is the best WWE ECW champion. All right. What do I write? New Year's Revolution 07. Yeah, that was a good one. When they killed Ric Flair. All right, here's my hot take. Well, not hot take. This is a personal preference. There's a lot of wrestlers in history, right? But the wrestler I'm most invested in their matches. By the way, in their matches is John Cena. I don't care. He's the guy I'm always going to be invested in the most. You could tell me AJ Styles. You could tell me Kenny Omega, Shawn Michaels, all these guys. But at the end of the day, even if it's mid, the most I'm invested in a wrestler's matches is John Cena. Easily. Thoughts on Dean Malenko in the 90s? Good wrestler. Not great wrestler. Jeff Hardy and John Cena have easily both been the faces of WWE in 2008. Not too sure if Hardy would have overtaken had he not been fired. Maybe that's my hot take. Yeah. Just want to say I love your content on YouTube. Thank you for all these amazing videos. Witnessing your journey as a creator makes me proud to be a wrestling fan. Shout out to you, Be Cool. Shout out to you. Io Sky is the greatest female wrestler of all time in ring-wise, okay? We need to see some radical stuff. John Morrison deserves to be WWE champion in the face of the company from 2010 and 11 instead of The Miz, okay? WrestleMania 23 had the best money in the bank. All right, that's a bit radical, but I get it. If you're like, why it's radical? It's a different take, you know, from the ones I saw here. WrestleMania 23 was a great ladder match. Like, bro, the Hardys wanted to kill Edge, bro. And Kid and me would probably be happy about that. They hated that. I did as well. Like, Edge was a douche. Eva Marie is overhated and wasn't that bad. Okay, that's the biggest hot take we've seen so far. That's the biggest hot take. Money in the Bank and Hell in a Cell shouldn't be pay-per-views. They should be events during pay-per-views. Money in the Bank should always be at WrestleMania. A lot of people say these ones. I hated Edge so much. Facts. Bro, Edge was like a demon. He just like... Oh my god. I don't want to be generic, but my guy helped me clutch my 5 years in uni since I can't focus while listening to music. I just have study sessions of 4 to 5 hours binging everything. Shout out to you, Vice. Shout out to you. We need more eras recaps. I'll do one on New Generation and some others. You think WrestleMania 17 is truly the best WrestleMania? Bruh, I think WrestleMania is the best event in history. Straight up. Because of the narratives behind it and all that. Like, everything aligned. The way WWF built to it. Because the Rock and Austin build wasn't good, but the energy behind it was still there. You know, like you saw the commercials, they're like, Rock and Austin, WrestleMania. Then they bought WCW. Everything, TLC, everything on that night was like aligned. And wrestling was never the same after it. WrestleMania 17 is looking better than 19. I mean, WrestleMania 19 is better than 17, my hot take. I just think, just based on the narratives, WrestleMania 17 will always be the best. Get it? Alicia Fox deserves more respect and credit. She was one of the best of the Divas era. Alicia Fox, she wasn't that bad, but I haven't watched those matches in like 10 years. I don't even remember the women's matches back then. WWE should have pushed Kofi Kingston and John Morrison in 2010. Okay? I don't like WrestleMania being 2 nights. I agree. The thing with WrestleMania 2 nights, bro, they just do it to sell the tickets. Like, bro, corporation making money. We know that, right? But it makes WrestleMania seem like a... whatever. Like, WrestleMania should be the prize. You guys remember before 2020 what it meant to get a singles match at WrestleMania? Not a tag team match, a singles match. Felt like a big deal. We're kind of watching my Attitude Era again. I was up to January 99 on Peacock. Go to, what's it called? WWE Network and the VPN, bro. Low key. I was watching a new episode of Peacemaker. I haven't watched Peacemaker yet. I've been wanting to. Since you're a football fan, I always wanted to ask you this. Did Cody versus Roman feel like WrestleMania? Man City versus Real Madrid? Bro, that stuff felt like Real Madrid versus Barcelona, bro. Like prime Barca and Real Madrid. That kind. But I get what you mean by that. It felt like big time. Because like when City and Madrid face off, it's like a big event. WrestleMania is just another pay-per-view. WrestleMania being 2 nights in 2020 made sense, but should have stayed one night afterwards. Facts. WWE Vault should start uploading Attitude Era episodes. They should start uploading the hidden matches. WCW is also banned in 95. It wasn't good. ECW was the best promotion in 95. ECW actually tried different stuff and went out of the box. And they obviously paid the price for it because they went crazy. But it was fresh back then. As much as Vince McMahon is a better booker than Triple H, he shouldn't have sold WWE to TKO, but he didn't because he didn't trust Triple H to run the company. Isn't it because he wanted to find a way in, you know? Like he wanted to find a way into the company and take over? In terms of mainstream hype, WrestleMania 17, 28, 39, and 40 are up there with the best. 17, 28. You missed 23 low-key. Remember that Cody versus Brock match that was like 5 minutes and then Brock shook his hand and Triple H was instantly like, that wasn't planned. That match, was it 5 minutes? That wasn't 5 minutes. It's a SummerSlam match, right? Hot take, Cena versus Cody, WrestleMania 41 wasn't awful, plus Cena wanted to ruin wrestling even though Travis Scott finish was garbage. Bruh, the Travis Scott finish was tragic. You guys remember that? Just come outside and then Cena's like happy. He's like, let's go. My superhero Travis Scott's coming down. It was so devoid of any excitement. You guys understand a WrestleMania main event. If there's interference, it's going to feel big time. Right? If there's no interference, the match has got to feel big. When the bell rang, the match felt big, but as time went on, and then the Travis Scott thing happened, it's like, yeah, it's not going to get any better. Brock, like, tossed him 3 times, then Cody just hit his finisher 3 times, and it was over. Yeah, I don't like those. What did I think of that SummerSlam match? I made a video on it, but I don't even remember. I didn't really like it that much, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. Maybe I did. That was terrible, the Travis Scott thing, yeah. And he punched Cody in the face, no rock. It took 3 days to get in, bro. That stuff was trash. Like, remember Cody beating up on Travis Scott and then Cena just beats him with the belt and wins it? Like, that's it. Number 17. Number 17 is that. That's it. 17 is supposed to be grandiose. It wasn't. It was grandiose in setting as opposed to the actual match. Survivor Series 19 was the last best brand warfare Survivor Series. That was a good one. Bro, Survivor Series 2019 was such a good event. If Cena really wanted to ruin wrestling, he could have just cheated to win since he's the face of wrestling and WWE ruining his image is ruining WWE. He could have ruined wrestling by taking out Cody Rhodes, cheating to win, doing much crazier stuff. He kind of did ruin wrestling by bringing in Travis Scott, though, low-key. When you think about it. It was so bad that it was so good. When's WWE Vault gonna release it, bro? We gotta watch it again. Like, I could just put it on Netflix. The Vault, I want to see the comments complaining and all that. The Lakers-Nuggets match on Raw sucked. Bro, that match wasn't good. And then Mr. Kennedy dropped Randy Orton. He's like, fuck, my arm. And he got pissed off at him. Yeah. The handshake was pathetic. The Brock one. Raw from late 2009 and 10 wasn't as bad as people say it was. I'm not going to lie to you. I make a lot of videos on different eras, but I almost have zero interest going back there. Now, part of that's because I already did videos from there. But if I really wanted to, I'd scrap and look for stories and videos to make. I just don't feel like it for some reason. Rey Mysterio deserved a legitimate run as WWE Champion. He's the greatest, most famous match luchador of all time. Yeah, but then, you remember the last time they made him world champion? It was like, horrible. Matches were good, but the booking was just bad. Outside the Shield, Seth Rollins factions have been boring. At least Roman has the Bloodline, which is better than any Seth faction. Alright, this is a hot take. Some of you might agree. Seth Rollins as the #1 guy is imaginary. Like, we like the idea of Seth Rollins being number one as opposed to the reality with Seth Rollins being number one. Thing is, bro, when it comes down to it, Seth Rollins might have peaked in 2015, which is sad. Like, I liked them 2018, the Visionary in 2020, but I feel like it could have been more. Angel Garza has potential to be the top face Lucha Libre star. Yep. Well, I think he could be much more than he is. Hot take: the guest host era of Raw in 09-10 wasn't as bad as people made it out to be, except maybe from a few exceptions. Matches weren't that good, bro. SmackDown's way better. I thought Seth peaked in 2018. Nah, it worked very hard during that year. Like, we got a long video planned for Seth Rollins of 2018 to 19. It's gonna be tough to me. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see the Gauntlet performance. WrestleMania 34, not the whole event, just the opener. His match with AJ Styles in 19. But we got to talk about the Hell in a Cell DQ finish again in that video. I hated the Visionary. Bro, I love the Visionary. He could have been more, bro. He used to wear that suit. He's wearing the black glove. I think he could have been more. Jeff Hardy should have stayed in WWE until 2012 or 13. But didn't he violate the wellness policy or something like that? Like, bro, Jeff Hardy could have been more. He really could have. Are you a fan of the Vision on Monday Night Raw? Not that much, no. Recently with the AJ Lee stuff, it's good, but I like the Monday Night Messiah, you know? The wearing one black glove like Michael Jackson. I really like that. Jeff Hardy left in 2009 to Burnout. Then he went to TNA, it's like slow, then the heel turn. Then the return after Victory Road, he got better, stuff like that. Do you watch TNA? I know it isn't as popular as WWE, but WWE is getting boring that I just stopped watching a lot. No, I don't really watch TNA, honestly. I don't really care much for it, to be honest. Since Finn is hot again, WWE should really push him to the main event. I think that's imaginative, bro. They're never going to push him. Late 2009-10 Raw was better than SmackDown, since Jeff Hardy had left Matt Jack Swagger here in the show for months. Hell no. SmackDown was better until after WrestleMania 26. Once Jack Swagger came, it got dry. Like, bro, they had Kofi, Christian, they had Jericho. Actually, they went to Raw. They had Ray. Raw took Jericho, Edge. Who else did they take? They took a lot of people, bro, in that draft. 2019 draft wasn't awful. Damn. TNA can never replicate its peak from the early 2000s, which sucks. Yup. That's the thing about it. Seems like you don't like wrestling anymore, is that true? Not really, no. It's not that. It's just like, it's just not a substance. There's a lot of good matches that happen, but I feel like they're not as good once you look back on it. You get what I mean? It's not like, oh, old days were better. Old days, there was a lot of novelty there and all that. But right now, there's like not a lot of matches that I remember from the year. You ask me what happened at freaking Backlash, I barely remember. Like, I gotta go back and check my video. Backlash 2025. Let me check. I don't remember Backlash. Let's see. Backlash 2025. Cena versus Orton. I do remember that. See, I got lost. Like, this stuff, you gotta look, you gotta search for and be like, oh, I remember that. WWE should never ended the streak. That doesn't mean Raw is good. That means you have nostalgia for the name Raw. Completely different product. You're right, Dixie really killed the company, and they really phoned by not giving AJ a good contract. They lowballed AJ, and then WWE lowballs him, so he goes to New Japan, and the rest is history. AEW ruined Wardlow. He could have been their Batista. He got injured, though. You know, he's gotten injured in the worst times, if I remember correctly. That and the fact that it feels... Nah, I don't think he could have been like Batista. No. Batista's a much different animal. No pun intended. Hot take, the PG era, while not good, wasn't as bad as people say it was. Elements of it are still better than WWE today, to be honest, especially 2014 and 17 reality era. Some stuff. Not a lot. The match quality, I think, was better back then. 2015, 16. You know? I meant 2022, Wardlow's last present. Yeah, I remember. He destroyed MJF when they thought MJF was going to leave the company and stuff like that. I remember, but I don't know. Like the Batista thing, that was much crazier. WWE should have never ended the brand split in 2011. It was stupid and made no sense. I like no brand split things, but they don't book it well, bro. You know? You ready for that Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather? Hell no. Wardlow can't ever catch a break, can he? Yeah, I just heard he tore something, if I remember correctly. WWE shouldn't have so many masked wrestlers? Bruh. Why? If you mean because it's entertainment, well, that's a different story, bro. If they're doing the wrestling thing, which they are which they've been doing since the start of time, there always should be a masked wrestler. If CM Punk never joined AEW and went back to WWE instead, AEW would have been fine. Yeah, maybe. You think things would have been different if Brock never left in 2004? Without a doubt, easy. The thing with Brock Lesnar is his departure really affects Batista and John Cena's career. I think John Cena still would have rose up, but however, I will say this: I don't think it would have been as fast as it was. You know, Brock can't go for long. He's been knocked out by people half his size. Yeah, he can't take hits. He was a beast in the late 2000s. I think if Brock stayed, Batista's push probably wouldn't have happened. You know, WWE TNA was bad in 2010. They were, bro. Remember 10-10-10? Heel Jeff Hardy was cool. I just don't like how it ended because Victory Road, you know? Everybody trying to make a non-English speaking wrestler babyface doesn't work. It does, bro. He's got to do the performances. I also don't think they try enough with the lucha wrestlers. I heard Batista was a grandfather during his time as world champion. You heard that in his book, right? Like, Penta's one of my favorites in WWE. He was actually one of my favorites in AEW. Him and his brother. Bro, those two were going crazy back then. Remember the Bucks match in the cage? You think John Cena thrived in New Japan Pro Wrestling 2015-17? Easy, bro. Easy. He would have brought a lot of intensity. I think he probably would have taken the hits himself. Would have been good. Remember, imagine John Cena in the Tokyo Dome in the... What's it called? Is it called the Bukodan Hall? In there, he's facing Tanahashi. He's facing Okada. He's facing all these guys like Shibata. Bro, it would have tested him like crazy. I think he would have passed. I'm glad Batista and Undertaker retired because Triple H is purposely booking Cena's retirement tour badly. Imagine. I just think he's incompetent. I don't think he would do it on purpose. You think Shawn Michaels would still be the main event guy if he didn't injure his back in 98? All right, this is fascinating. Very fascinating you mentioned that. The reason why I say it's fascinating is because I thought about this the other day, like 2 weeks ago. I wrote something on it. So you guys know, I don't do a lot of fantasy booking. For like why? It's hard to look into the future. I wrote one with The Rock's run from 04 to 2010, but I just can't make a video on it. With HBK, I did write about it, and I'm going to tell it to you guys in short, easily. I think after WrestleMania 14, HBK disappears for a bit because he doesn't get a rematch. Once he returns, Triple H takes over DX, and it causes a bit of a power struggle, but HBK, nobody sides with him in DX, right? Nobody sides with him. He feuds with Triple H a bit, but they put that on hold. Instead, Shawn Michaels is the one that becomes the corporate champion instead of The Rock, and they do a sequel to WrestleMania 14 with Austin and Rock at 15. I think Rock would turn face, but his rise would go down a bit differently. I don't think WrestleMania 15 would be Austin and Rock. It would be Austin and HBK, with the main story being Shawn Michaels has the corporation, and Austin beat him via fluke because Mike Tyson countered fast last year. I think that would have been the story. What if Kevin Nash and Scott Hall came back to WWF in 98? I think that would have been in DX. Easy. Tanahashi is one of my favorites from New Japan. Yeah, he's basically their John Cena. He's the heart of the company. Also, hot take, Cena versus Nakamura is not a good match. I rewatched it a couple of times, and I don't like it every single time. I mean, I liked it last time I watched it, but it was on SmackDown, so obviously they weren't going to go all out. Hot take, NXT 2.0 is overhated. Low-key agree. I liked the bit of NXT 2.0, but it didn't feel as aggressive as the old NXT. And I think that's why a lot of people hated it. How different would have things been if Rock never left WWE in 2004 and won the WWE Championship against JBL like originally planned? I think he still go to Hollywood, but I don't think Batista and John Cena would have been affected, no. In terms of title reigns, yes, but I don't think they would have been affected as it relates to them becoming stars, you know? I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. NXT is the women's show now? Yeah, they're carrying. Why did Shawn Michaels not last long in corporation? There's a part of the story. I think if he never retired, he would be the corporate champion. That makes too much sense to me, bro. Like a WrestleMania 15, the sequel. Austin and Michaels again. But with the corporation on his side, no fast count, all that. He with JBL 2005 imports to 2025 would give the IWC a meltdown. Yeah, bro. He would have been talking about IEC going crazy. Shawn Michaels is dating Last Legend. Singing Kai is crazy. KSI. This is how the story goes. I love the IWC having meltdown. Bro, Shawn Michaels is a crazy ass scout. He goes on the Instagram explore page. And he brings in talent. We got Rock versus Batista WrestleMania 20. Technically. But I think if Rock never left, he would win more titles. And low-key, this is a bit of a hot take. Very, very hot take. I think if Rock stayed until 2010, remember, hot take, he would be considered the greatest of all time. I think so. If you're like, why? Rock was only getting better right when he left. I think he could have been a great talent. Well, he was a great talent. What the hell am I saying, bro? I'm starting to sound like those people that are giving hot takes. Rock was a great talent. I think it would have been better. You know? You watch Kai Cenat. Hell no. No, we're good off that. Like, bro, people will be looking forward to streams every day. I can't wait to watch. They watch for 12 hours a day. Guy makes money. I'm not, bro. At least I don't stream for 12 hours. Shawn Michaels should have went to SmackDown around 05-08. Yeah. Shawn Michaels goes to Magic City to recruit talent. Bro. Something tells me AEW has the video footage of Punk brawling with the Elite. If they have the footage with Jack Perry, they have the footage of what happened at All Out. Maybe because Elite's legal issues. I don't even know why they showed the Jack Perry thing. Like CM Punk, he told the story, turns out to be true, and it's like we accomplished nothing. You get what I mean? I love SVR 08 Cena too. That I can agree with, especially after Austin left Rock and Lesnar by proxy, basically the faces of the company for a while. Yeah, I think Rock's legacy changes entirely because he accomplished so much in 7 years. But if you add another 7 years on top, he was already a good talent in 02 in ring. Yeah. I think he surpasses Stone Cold in the history books. Best Triple H Undertaker match, mine is WrestleMania 17. It's 28. The Jack Perry footage was pathetic. It is, bro. They hyped up the show. I remember. It was last year in April. They hyped up the show, blah, 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 to show the footage. It's like, bro, he's not in WWE. He's not in AEW anymore. Why are we doing this? Just think of WWE in Saudi Arabia, and you saw the reaction of the rest superstars on the stage. They didn't seem happy. I mean, I thought it was bound to happen, honestly. Saudi Arabia's got a strong hold on a lot of the entertainment world. And you guys know, if you have a strong hold in the entertainment world, it basically means you dominate the world. They know what they're doing. They got the cash and all that. And I believe it was bound to happen. Like, the World Cup is going to happen in Saudi Arabia in 2034, I believe. Yeah, I knew it was going to happen. Have you played SVR 2011 in PS2? I actually did, but not. It's because my cousin had it. SVR 08 had so much potential to be better than 07. Facts. The AEW time period 22-23 of CM Punk Saga's rough times. It's like Bret Hart Montreal Screwjob. I just hate it during that time because it felt like no matter what they did, they still had this dark cloud of CM Punk above them, and it's like they didn't care to ignore it. It's a weird time, you know? what matches would you want him to be if he never left AEW? I would have liked to see the Omega match, honestly. Like, I don't know. I think he could have done good with Ospreay because Ospreay likes being aerial. Punk would go for a more grounded thing and use his experience. I think that could have been a good story to tell. I think him and Bryan, again, could have been wonderful. It is what it is, but I think he belongs in WWE because if he did stay in AEW, he was going to fight the Elite again or someone else is going to piss him off. Like, imagine he just randomly slapped Daniel Garcia or someone. I think Daniel Garcia was a friend of his. I'm not sure, but I don't think it was going to do well. TKO sells WWE to pay their debt $10 billion. Imagine. They just bought them, though. But neither Triple H seemed happy, plus it seems TKO is going to take WWE to a very dark route. Punk versus Omega not happening is a huge loss for wrestling, not gonna lie. It could have been a good match. I think it would have. Like CM Punk, he didn't keep up with that roster athletically, but he still did well, you know? Do you watch Vince Russo's shoot interview, bro? I watched the Jim Cornette one where he cursed out Vince Russo. It's from 2000, I believe. 2000. He called him a gutless coward, called him a gutless prick. He trashed him like crazy. HBK or Kurt Angle? HBK. Mark Henry was underrated in 2005. You think AEW actually needed CM Punk considering they were successful before he got there? They didn't, but he pushed him to the higher level. Like, you guys remember the summer of 21? WWE sucks. AEW's the show. I remember that year. I watched AEW more than WWE that year. And what's it called? They didn't need him. They obviously didn't, but it solidified them as the place to be. You guys remember the debut? It was on Rampage. He comes out. It was insane. Like, I started watching AEW before Punk and Danielson came in. I was watching it during the era where it still felt like the Elite and the Chris Jericho show. The Elite, the Mox, and the Chris Jericho show. You guys remember that era? Light the fuse, brain the boom. Jericho's still like around the top. Mox was a former champion. That era. Undertaker said something about WWE wrestlers doing TikToks and backstage, and I agree with him. It was a podcast with Gunther. I saw that. I saw that. How would you have fixed the Triple H reign of 2002 to 2005? Now, unfortunately, and this is a bit of a hot take, and not to glaze Triple H, if you slightly change it, Batista doesn't become as big of a star as he did. Because, like, the long runs, it kind of makes you grow a lot of love for Batista. But if I had to change it, I first of all wouldn't have him win the title in the tournament the way he did. Well, actually, he doesn't have the title handed to him. They do a tournament. I think he wins the tournament. Goes from there. That's number one. Number two, because Goldberg was coming in, Booker T had to lose, which I kind of hate because the whole story, like people like you and all that. I think Booker T should have won with the Houston Hangover and all that. I think Booker T should have won a WrestleMania 19, honestly. And Triple H is still a big star. They could still do him and Goldberg at SummerSlam singles match. That's one of them. I think if you fix the first year, the second and the third aren't so bad. Thoughts on people hating Michelle McCool because she's in Undertaker's podcast? I mean, I don't know. Michelle McCool's just relevant because she's with Taker. Isn't that like she has her, her influence in the women's division, but a part of that is obviously because of the Undertaker. I heard some people say she wasn't bad. I remember she used to do the Styles Clash, and Lay Cool was like a great duo. I loved Lay Cool. 2019 AEW still my favorite year for AEW. So good, and then the pandemic happened. Remember when Cody was so over back then? Jericho with the Inner Circle. Things changed. Batista only became a star because of Brock leaving. That story was so good, though, bro. You know? People shouldn't diminish Michelle McCool because she was big during the Divas era. I mean, I liked Lay Cool. I'm just saying, like, I read somewhere, and again, this might not be true. She had more influence because she was with The Undertaker. What do you think about Sami winning the US title? Do you think he'll win the world title at WrestleMania 42 or 43? I don't think he'll win at 42. 43, maybe. Lay Cool was a ripoff of Beauty People. Bro, they used to rip off a lot of back then, remember? DX low key's a bit of a ripoff of the NWO and all that. Inner Circle is Jericho's best faction. Yeah. You noticing Becky always mentioned how she's considered the GOAT of the women's wrestling according to Sports Illustrated. I saw that. She's been saying that a couple of times recently. You agree with her? For me, she's 4th. In terms of women's wrestlers, I think she might be 3, honestly. Especially for WWE. Hey, bro, have to head out to a family gathering. Thanks again for another fun stream. Much love, bro. Hope you enjoyed it, Alec. And Brian Cage and Wardlaw are the only wrestlers I compare to Batista. Batista's still better than both of them, bro. I don't care. I don't care, Batista. Oh, wait, Batista. What do you guys know about Batista? Dang, remember Low Key. Low Key was so talented. He's just a dumbass, bro. I don't know why he's so stupid. I don't know why he has a big ego. I don't know why he hits stiff shots at wrestlers when he shouldn't. I don't know. He could have been much better than he was. Like, yeah, he's tiny, he's little and all that. But he was so good, bro. Very talented wrestler. Low-key, American Dragon, Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, CM Punk, AJ Styles. That era was so, like, talented. Was WCW terrible or decent in 2000? Terrible, bro. They didn't follow the stories. A lot of it wasn't logical. Terrible. The Miz should have never been champion in 2011. He wasn't ready. Hot take, I think he was ready. I don't think he was ready for WrestleMania main event, but still. Becky is easily top 5 GOAT, yeah. What do you think about AJ Lee's return? I was smiling when she returned. Light it up, light it up, light it up. Why did Loki knock those guys off for no reason? I don't know, bro. That guy's crazy. He's so stupid. He literally said he shouldn't lose to Cesaro. Or Claudio. Loki was one of my favorites growing up. I can't believe he really blackballed himself in the business. Like, he doesn't belong in WWE, right? But he certainly belonged in Impact, New Japan, PWG, all these places. ROH. It's a dumbass. He is very talented, remember. Very talented. When you see his talent in ring, you kind of forget how much of a douche he is. But he did it to himself. Him and Austin Aries. Austin Aries pissed off a lot of people. Him, Tessa Blanchard was another one that pissed off a lot of people. And it's like, sometimes you're your own worst enemy. You know? I'm hating what they're doing to Styles. They should have made him win the place. He's more over with the crowd. That's France, of course. Batista doesn't look Filipino. I thought he was American. I didn't even know what he was. I thought it was like Mexican or something. But once I know he's Filipino, I can't unsee it. You know? He's half. He's half white, he's half Filipino. You're still streaming? That's Chris. Yeah, that's nice. Samoa Joe went to WWE at the wrong time. Should have went to WWE around 2007 and 2009. That would have been tough, bro. The thing is, Joe is talented. He's very talented. But during that era of WWE, would he have succeeded? I think he should have. Like, just on the basis of him facing Batista, that would have been a wonderful match. But would it have been? I don't know. Hot take, heel Sami Zayn was so fun, especially in 2020 with his conspiracy theories, documentaries, and easily underrated in character development. Wasn't he called the Great Liberator or something like that? Yeah, that was good. Castro Zayn was so good. Hot take, Miz is not top 50 WWE wrestler in the century. Yeah, easy. Samoa Joe should have won the Universal title. Yeah. I think Joe could have been the champion. Bit unfortunate. You know? What the F is American supposed to look like? Who said American? Oh. He thinks he's native. You know? Do you speak American? New Blood versus Millionaire Club. Good story. Could have been more than it was. He got to lead WWE to shame. CM Punk should have been Undertaker 2009. That would have been crazy. You know? Why did Andrade leave those? Like, he just got bored? Like, I know it wasn't booked the best, but still. Ha ha ha. And the Sami Zayn heel character ended at WrestleMania 38 and then went to the Bloodline story. Yep. All I want is Styles versus Cena for the IC title. Yeah, bro. I don't get why that never happened. They're pushing Dominic now, but I wish it was an IC title match. I just find it disrespectful that John Cena never got the chance to face AJ Styles during this run. It's one of the stupidest things ever, I swear. Like, he's one of his biggest rivals. And you know for a fact that if Edge was still around, they would have had him face Edge. But AJ Styles, they just don't care. I don't understand it. I really think Styles could have gotten a great match with John Cena. I don't think he could have gotten a great match out of him because Cena already could work great recently. But I think it would have been one of Styles' best matches recently. You know? 38 Games needs to leave 2K and go to THQ Nordic. Imagine. M. Dickey Wrestling Games is better than 2K. Bro, those games are crazy. Dakota would cook and SmackDown mid-card easily, man. I think she could have been the women's Intercontinental Champion. Saw a fantasy booking where the next Ross Cena wins the IC title and becomes a Grand Slam champion and defeats Brock and Drew and does a gauntlet match which ends in Styles versus Cena. AJ wins. Imagine. See how RVD was in talks to face Cena when he was heel? I saw him. He said he was about to return, but it just never happened. You think they're spending all Cena's last appearances as Lesnar or last final surprise happening? Maybe The Rock. Bro. Low key. Remember, delusional. I think Cena's last opponent will be The Rock. It's a bit of a weird one, but it makes sense because if John Cena's final match is his final match, they would want to make it blockbuster. You get what I mean? Mega, huge. And say, for example, he does a gauntlet match, right? Last person to beat Cena wins or some stupid stuff like that. The Rock comes in as the last opponent. I can imagine. Or they could do something which I don't think they're going to do. They could change the retirement to WrestleMania, which I don't think they're going to do because Cena himself said he is done at the end of the year. They could change that. I think they could do a third Rock and Cena match at WrestleMania. If I had to give chances, I give it a 12% chance, which is kind of a lot, but you get the point. Cena versus Gunther is a dream match. It could happen. Cena's final match is on Saturday night's main event, December 12th. Thoughts on AEW's first game fight forever? I fought for about an hour and quit the game, unfortunately. It is what it is. I kind of played it. It's like that's all it has to offer. Cena versus Rock record right now is 1-1, and they can make it the winner as the GOAT or something like that. Maybe, man. I just think it'll be The Rock. Like, if you ask me right now, who's his final opponent going to be? I'm saying The Rock. Not because I want it to be. I want it to be AJ Styles. Like, I think AJ Styles was John Cena's last great rival before he went part-time, but doesn't mean it's going to happen. If WWE considered the brand split throughout 2011 and 12, it would have made those years much more memorable. Would it? I mean, whoever won the World Championship, like Del Rio and all that, they got the chance anyways. AEW Fight Forever was not worth the wait. Facts. Cena versus Rock having a WrestleMania trilogy would be crazy, not gonna lie. They probably would. Like, just look at Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson. They're gonna fight. They have no business fighting. They're old. Cena and Rock, they have no business having a match in 2026, but I think there's an actual chance of it happening. You know? Have you played Wrestling Empire? I wanted to. I haven't done it yet. I wanted to be Orton before the run started. Again, that makes sense. I think if it's Orton, Styles, Edge, CM Punk, these guys make sense. I don't know why. If Rock's movie does do well, I don't think we're going to see him, but there's still a small chance, just based on the mainstream attention that John Cena and The Rock would get once again, that he would return. I think that's one of the reasons why I think there's a chance. None of these modern wrestlers can hang with Cena promo-wise. Yeah, Cena's one of the best. So Faye goes, the Jeff Hardy of hip-hop, he was so special and could have been up there with his peers Yeet, Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely. Doesn't that always happen? There's always that one guy that should have been. Yeet's doing well right now. He just released an album. Come and go, come. How's that song go? I need you right now. I need you. I never. What about putting over a young talent as his final match, since that's what he's done for years and did it with Angle? Naturally, that should happen, but who would it be? Dom? Braun Breaker? Imagine it's freaking Bronson Reed. Who knows? The problem with the young talent is, how many of them deserve John Cena's final match? I think I wouldn't give it to them. I would give it to a rival of John Cena's, honestly. Like Gunther, I think he could be John Cena's final match, but he's not exactly young. And the Kurt Angle style match helped Corbin? Nope, so it doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's the best RF shoot interview you watched? My favorite RF shoot interview is the one he got caught on the child predator sting. But if you're talking serious RF, I'm not sure if it was RF, but there was a New Jack shoot like an '08 with Gunther with the Honky Tonk Man and the Iron Sheik, and he was just going crazy, unhinged, balls to the wall, 100%. That's one of the best shoots. The HBK one with the tobacco is hilarious because he's just yapping. Jim Cornette cursing out Vince Russo. There's a lot of them. Like, wrestling shoot interviews are a lost art, to be honest. The shoot interviews aren't what they used to be. Back then, bro, they didn't care. Yeah, I got released. Fuck John Laurinaitis. They used to curse each other out. Crazy stuff, bro. Like, the shoots were so good. You shoot were probably better than the RF shoots. Remember Scott Hall talking nonsense? Kevin Nash. They bring X-Pac. He's like confused about the questions he's asking. You know what I mean? Austin Theory being Cena at Mania did nothing for him. Yeah, I know, but since they've done it before, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it again. Bro, Triple H does not like Austin Theory by the looks of it. Again, I don't know what's going on in Triple H's mind. It's filled with TKO, Mark Shapiro, Ari Emanuel, and stuff like that. But I don't know what's in his mind with regards to Austin Theory. But if I had to say, I don't think he likes him. Kevin Nash shoot interview was so good. Exactly, personally, I would make Cena beat Rock. But honestly, The Rock would demand to win since he has the power, unfortunately. Alright. This is how fantasy predictions. Not my fantasy. This is not what I want. Just want to preface this. iWrestling Premier do not want this to go down. However, if I had to guess, John Cena's last match is with The Rock. The Rock beats him. The Rock beats him in order to build himself up to be the challenger to either Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes for WrestleMania. Which WrestleMania? I had to guess. If I had to guess, Saudi Arabia. That's my guess. Gunther's the only one who makes sense as Cena's last match. He retired. Goldberg is legit one of the only true professional wrestlers. Yeah. Austin Theory is injured still with the company. That's my guess. Cena versus Rock Bloodline rules. You know what I mean? Like, that's my guess. I think Cena's last match will be with The Rock. It's a bit delusional. Guess. But we'll see. It'll be Rhea. SVR 2011 got to be the best John Cena ever. What do you think? Nah, SVR 08. SVR 08, then 2011. 2011 is a good one, though. Like, bro, I know his model didn't look the best. He kind of looked a bit Asian. I mean, John Cena's not Asian. But the character to play as John Cena, I don't think there's many games you'd want to play as John Cena than SVR 11. Kevin Nash shoot interview was so good. Bro, he's calling everyone a mark, talking nonsense. Now, a lot of those shoot interviews are great, bro. You know? Bret Hart, he's so blunt and straight to the point. That would be an insane way and a cool way to bring Brock back and make up for his weird absence from the Cody storyline this year. Maybe. Hot take, if Cody Rhodes never returned to WWE, the person I would choose to dethrone Roman could have been Keith Lee if he didn't get released. Low-key. I think Cena will win his last match because he's not going to be there for the build. Yeah, this whole retirement thing wasn't well thought out, honestly. Goldberg was never a true professional wrestler. He had maybe 5 years as a full-timer and only did 3 moves and had only a couple of matches go past 5 minutes. Bro, Goldberg can't go in the ring. He just can't. It's a bit on WCW. It's also on him, in a way, because he didn't push himself. Like, if Goldberg had the mindset of... who has a great mindset in wrestling? John Cena, Cody Rhodes. Just like that kind of ego to want to be the best. He would have been one of the best ever, you know? And I hate that because Goldberg should be one of the best wrestlers of all time. No one rates him like that. Because he's not as good as he should be. SVR 08 has a better soundtrack than 07. It's arguable in the post debate. 07, bro. Da-da-da, still alive and kicking. Better now on my weekend. Yeah. 07. Cena's worst models was from 2K15 to 17. 2K18 to current looked more like him. Yeah, current, he's more authentic. What about... Bro, the 2K15 one, he looks like... I don't know, he looks a bit strange. Keith Lee is washed. He was sick and he's just not the same. Cena could get Punk or... I don't know why Goldberg didn't just retire in 2017. Beats me. Did you see that scripted shoot promo that AJ Styles cut on Monday Night Raw last week during commercial break? It may lead to something, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what that'll lead to. Maybe he'll actually demand a John Cena match. I don't know. And Cena announced his retirement in 22 during his 20th anniversary. His 23 retirement tour would have been good. Probably. But he wasn't invested in it. Like right now, you see him actually do real moves, going all out. Back then, bro, he just didn't care a lot. Remember the Austin Theory match? Like a part of that's because it's Austin Theory. He wasn't invested in him. But I don't know. Cena's more motivated now. Y2, welcome to the stream. Gunther, Rock, AJ Styles, Orton, Drew. That's how you rank it, yeah. Maybe. Using the older rivals leaves room to try something new, but they wasted all that time. Drew or Seth would be cool as well. I just think if John Cena's last match does happen in December, it shouldn't be on a new talent. They don't push them. They don't invest in them as much as they do. If it's anyone, it should be someone he has history with or already an established star like Seth Rollins. I personally want to see Cena versus Rollins, but it's going to be in the back of my mind. Let me put it this way. I want to see Cena versus Rollins, but it's not going to feel the same as it did in the past because Rollins was like flying and going crazy. Now it's going to be more grounded, obviously. I don't hate Goldberg as a person, but WWE really ruined his legacy with the booking. Nah, I don't hate him as a person. Edge models in WWE video games back then were terrible. Yeah, they weren't good. WWE 2K23 over WWE 2K24. I had more fun with 23. I think for Survivor Series, they could do something cool like old superstars versus new superstars. Cena could get Punk, Orton, and other legends back versus Team New Talent. Like either Team Cena's rivals. They could. They did that for NXT. Remember the NXT versus NXT 2.0 thing? They did something like that. Goldberg was a bigger mark for himself than CM Punk or Ultimate Warrior. Hell no. Ultimate Warrior is a bigger mark, bro. Hell no. That guy never sold for anyone. Although Goldberg didn't sell a lot. Cena buried Roman because he wanted to push Roman to be the best. Yeah. He doesn't rate him. Like, even Austin Theory, he did that because he wanted to see something from him. I don't think WWE did him any favors, but it was a sink or swim moment. Remember Gable Steveson? He's supposed to be the next Kurt Angle. He was actually supposed to be in the last video. Him, Sin Cara, and a couple of others, but I just took it. Yeah, Kurt Angle can't go. He just can't. Alright, what do you got? I'm gonna have to end the stream right now, but if you guys have anything to say beforehand, to mention it right now. I would continue, but like, I would rather make my video so I can upload it on time. You know, I would love to stream here and yap with you guys a little more. I actually did think about like turning on Raw and yapping while it's live, but I don't know if that's even interesting. Watch Raw together. Well, not together on here, but I'll put it on the TV over there. I don't know. We'll see. WWE should have never gotten rid of the scratch logo. W Stream. Yeah, I wish I could go on YouTube and Twitter and stuff. I probably got to do that in the night. World Cup favorite. This World Cup, Spain. Yeah, Spain's winning the World Cup. Argentina, they always say they're number 2, but it's just based on the fact that the rest of the teams suck. We got to get ready for the fight. Yep. How'd you book Cena 17? I think at 17 he should have sold the soul to win it. He did, but they didn't do it in a grand way. Canelo versus Crawford and Jake Paul versus Davis. Do one Raw watch along to see. We'll do one. I'll see. Triple H said current era is better than Attitude Era. He's just saying that because he's in charge, and the fact that during the peak of the Attitude Era, he was never number 1. He was number 2 because Stone Cold was injured. Who do you think is Cody's opponent at WrestleMania 42? Punk or Orton? CM Punk. Would you drink Prime one day? I did, and I didn't like it. I hated it. Prime's not good. I remember 2022 World Cup. I was in the 10th grade. My fans were watching it in my advisory class. Bro, this year, bro, listen. World Cup. GTA 6, bro. We had to... It might be a good summer. We'll see. Like, I hope it's a good summer. You know? I want us to be vibes. I want us to be exciting. We gotta hustle to get there. You know? I'm actually looking forward to this summer. World Cup. GTA 6 might actually come out. I want to be comfortable. You know, I'm glad that GTA 6 didn't come out now. Because if it did, I wasn't going to focus on it as well as I should. To be fair, he wouldn't say this era is better or is worse than another. Triple H returns in Cena's last match. Bro, you want him to die? Hell no. But yeah, Triple H is saying it's the best era because it's his. Do a video about the hardcore title. I already did. But yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream here. Next video might be when wrestlers bet on themselves. I want to do Unforgiven 02 probably. What else? Kurt Angle's WWE return run. By the way, half of the video is about him, his indie run, where he faced Zack Sabre Jr., Cody Rhodes, and others. We're still working on it. 24/7 titles unnecessarily hated. I mean, it felt like it wasn't valuable at all by the end. You excited for this NFL season this year? Everyone is. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I know I did. I'll be back with another video in, what's today, Saturday? If I work as hard as I am right now, probably Monday. So yeah. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I know I did. Peace. I'm out.